Hello friends, by now you all might have heard about NRC and CAA and the controversy surrounding the same. There are some people who are supporting this and some of the people who are not supporting this. Everyone has their own version, which is fine. It is our democratic right to have our opinions and expressing the same. But let us understand this whole scenario based on the facts and ask some of the questions. The controversy surrounding this entire scenario is migrants in Assam. Let us understand when it started, where it started, and how it started and why it started. Before independence, Assam state was Assam province. It was created in year 1912 by the partition of East Bengal and Assam province, and the capital was in Shillong. It constituted the current day Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Arunachal Pradesh, and all other northeastern states. In the history of Assam, there are two important gentlemen. One was Gopinath Bardolai, who was part of Indian National Congress and was later awarded Bharat Ratna in the year 1999. Another one was Muhammad Sadullah, who was from Muslim League. In the year 1935, Government of India Act passed and the elections for provinces were conducted, and most of the provinces Congress was won, but only in Assam Congress fell short of majority and Muslim League formed with a minority government. Muhammad Sadullah was head of the government and he was charged by Bardolai of altering the demographic and cultural composition of Assam by encouraging immigration of Bengalis, primarily Bengali Muslims. Sadullah's government lasted only for 2 years and Bardolai became prime minister and he tried to stop illegal migration but could not succeed. Bardolai government too resigned when Britain entered World War II without taking the Congress into confidence. He later became chief minister in the year 1946 and taken the support of Pandit Nehru at the center. The Immigrants Expulsion from Assam Act of 1950 was legislated with the stated objective of the expelling illegal immigrants from the Assam. And there was a lot of history for the NRC in Assam. Let us look at the timeline of NRC. I'll just mention some of the key aspects in this timeline. In the year 1950, Immigrants Expulsion from Assam Act came into force, and in 1951, first census of India, independent India conducted, and based on that census, first NRC compiled in Assam. In 1964 to 1605, that period, influx of refugees from East Pakistan started coming in due to the disturbances in that country. And in 1971, the liberation of Bangladesh, another round of influx of refugees has came into India. So from 1979 to 85, there was 6 years of long agitation, which was led by Assam unions like AASU and AAGSP for the detection and deportation of the foreigners. Finally, in 1935, Assam Accord was signed by the center, state and these unions, which brought the agitation to the rest. And in 2009, Assam Public Works, which was an NGO, it filed a case in Supreme Court for the deletion of the foreigners' names in electoral rolls and updation of NRC. In 2010, a pilot project was initiated in two areas, Chegaon and Barpeta, to update the NRC. Project was successful in Chegaon, but 4 killed in violence in Barpeta, and the entire project got shelved. In 2013, Supreme Court again took up the APW petition and it directed the center state to begin the process for updating the NRC. So NRC State Coordinator's Office was first set up in 2013. In 2015, the actual process of NRC began, and by 2017, December 31st midnight, the first NRC draft was published with the names of 1.9 crore in it out of the total 3.29 crore applicants. In 2018, July 30, another draft of NRC published. In this, 40 lakh people were excluded from the list, and there was a lot of agitation around that. People were protesting against it. So again, come 2019, June 26, another additional draft exclusion list of nearly 1 lakh people kind of released. And final NRC came into the force by August 31st, in which 19 lakh people were excluded. The outcome of the NRC, where 19 lakh people were excluded, It includes all religions. There are Muslims and Hindus and all other religions, but majority of them are from Hindus and Muslims. But the process of the NRC was criticized by the Assam's government, state government, which is a BJP government. They are saying that genuine Indian citizens are also left out of the NRC. And their go-to man, Himanta Biswa Sarma, he said that CAG's the report kind of detected huge anomalies in Assam NRC. There is a lot of question mark around the process followed for the NRC. There are some examples of these controversies. There are some genuine Indian names were excluded, as I mentioned. And some of the family members of our former Prime Minister and former Chief Minister, they were excluded from the list. And some scenarios where brothers were in the list and their siblings were not. In some other cases, father is in but not the son. So this kind of controversial outcomes has put the question mark in the entire NRC process. The question for those excluded, what is the next step for them? So they have 4 steps. The first thing is they can approach the Foreigners Tribunal to challenge their exclusion. And if they are not satisfied, they can approach High Court or Supreme Court. And if the judgment is not in their favor, they will be sent to detention camps till their country of origin ready to deport them. And if they do not, the country of origin does not accept them, then they have no other go but to stay, live and die in the detention camps. So far this is fine. It is all about NRC in Assam, whether illegal migrants were Hindus, Muslims, but they are all illegal immigrants. That was one problem. Now let's see how this is getting complicated, hugely thanks to our divisive politics. So they started differentiating these illegal immigrants based on their religions. They said we are okay with all illegal immigrants except Muslims. They brought in the color of religion here, and to bring this into law, they created a CAA, Citizenship Amendment Bill, where they kind of accepting all the religious minorities from these countries, so that they can also take the Hindus from the illegal migrants who are residing in the Assam, right? So now the question we should ask is, of course, let's not discuss about why we are brought in a religious flavor for this or not, because it is a different topic altogether. I don't want to get into that. Now let us look at these excluded Muslims. What are the options they have? The first thing is either they can accept that they are illegal migrants and go to the detention centers. The second thing is they can challenge the exclusion and take legal route, which I think most of the genuine Indian Muslims would like to go for. But let us look at how much time and effort it will take to take this legal route. Will they have the money to fight the legal battle? I don't think so. Most of these guys are not very rich. They are economically deprived, and I don't think they will have the means to fight it legally. And second aspect is, look at the trauma their families will undergo. Your neighbors who will be residing next to you, now there is a question mark on their families whether they are Indians or they are illegal migrants, and they have to prove that if they are really genuine Indians, they have to prove their Indian citizenship. Look at the kind of a trauma they will be going through. Now we are aggravating this complex problem again. Let's see how. When the problem was around in Assam and surrounding those areas, and of course West Bengal and in some part of other countries like some parts of the country like Delhi. Now our Home Minister said we will plan to implement national level NRC, right? Why? First question we should ask is why we want to implement across the country. Is it really a serious problem? Let us look at how serious it is. So according to Census 2011, these are the government numbers. There were around 5.5 million people in India who reported that their last residence was outside of India. So this constitutes really 0.44% of total population. Out of this, 2.3 were from Bangladesh, which includes all the Hindus and Muslims, and 0.7 Muslims are from Pakistan. And the number of immigrants from Afghanistan was very low, which was around 6,000 plus. Now, of these immigrants from Bangladesh, around 87% of them are residing in West Bengal, Assam and Tripura. So that is the problem where you have biggest problem, and we are addressing there. Now, most of the migrants from Pakistan anyway are non-Muslims. I don't think Muslims from Pakistan will come and settle here, right? Now, if the problem is residing somewhere in these states, West Bengal, Assam and Tripura, and of course there will be some other places in the country, instead of fixing the problem there, why do we want to have a national level NRC? What is the need? And look at the other complications, right? Like look at the again, like the kind of fear we are creating in minds of the people here, and look at the financial aspect of it, how much money it will take, what will be the financial burden on the economy. Let us think through them. And not only that, let us look at our chief executive, how he is talking. There are a lot of fear among certain communities of our country. Instead of cooling off their fear, what our chief executive is talking is, he said in recent poll campaign, he said those who are indulging in the arson, they can be identified their clause. And I think it requires no intellectual capability to understand the meaning of behind these lines. I leave it for the discretion of the people to judge that. And when I think about this, why government is not focusing on the real problems but creating a new problem which is not existent. So I could only think of following reasons. One is they want to hide from the real problems and turn youth's attention from joblessness to religion and drum up the pop rhetoric. Economy is getting a hit. We have no answers, so divert again attention. Heavy job losses in the informal sector, again divert the attention. Law and order is not good, and no more hot topics for political speeches, so fabricate a one. In summary, India has always had a unique place in the world, for it is known for its tolerance, which has been the strength and defining factor. It rejected and withheld the divisive and communal forces for long, be it foreign rule invasion centuries ago, be it British rule, or be it communalism spearheaded by Muslim League and Hindu Mahasabha during independence days. Majority of the Indians trusted in inclusiveness, love and tolerance. We Indians proved time and again we are united by Indianness, not by any religion, be it majority or minority, caste, creed and economic stature. Governments come and go, but this DNA of Indianness will not be reviewed by any ruler. If they think they can, I think it is only daydreaming. Jai Hind and Bharat Mata ki Jai.